The last round of last round of last round of.
You are listening to the Last Roundup Horror Show. I am Frank. With me, as always, is Jason. And John.
What's up, John?
What's up, dude? How are you, man?
I'm good.
All right.
Well, we're about to dive into some fun movies. So it's a wide variety. Let's start it out with 1989 Sleepaway Camp 3, Teenage Wasteland. Summary for this film: after murdering a young girl, Angela Baker assumes her identity and travels to Camp New Horizons, built on the grounds of the camp she terrorized the year before, and starts killing again. Directed by Michael A. Simpson, who directed the last one, and written by Fritz Gordon, who also wrote the last one. Fun fact about him, that's not his real name. His real name is Michael Hitchcock, and he is an actor who has been in a lot of Christopher Guest movies. Are you guys familiar with Christopher Guest's
Oh yeah, the Spinal Tap and A Mighty Wind and all that.
He is in all of those. If you look him up, you'll recognize him right away. You'll be like, oh shit, it's that dude. He's from Defiance, Ohio, though. So that's just a fun little fact, because it was just a pseudonym. Fritz Gordon was what he was using to write this. So
that's where they got Defiance, Ohio from.
Yeah, probably.
When they're saying where they're from, I think one of the girls from Defiance are like, how do you pull Defiance out of your?
Oh yeah, the redhead. She was from Defiance.
Yeah.
Or no, wait, no, she was from Iowa. Never mind, my fault.
Oh yeah, you keep saying Ohio.
Yeah.
Do you have any information on this, Jason?
Tagline: she's back to slash last year's record. I don't know who this is distributed by. Was out on Scream.
Yeah.
Scream Factory on Blu-ray, 2015, but it's out of print. So if you find yourself needing to have this for any reason, you're gonna pay up for it.
Yeah, big.
I don't know what that reason would be, but completist, I guess. Cast highlights for this film: Pamela Springsteen is back as the bizarro Angela Baker. Michael J. Pollard is in this movie. You'll recognize him. He plays Herman in this film. He was in American Gothic, which he's great in that movie, and he was in
Scrooged.
House of a Thousand Corpses.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
that? What's that?
Scrooged.
He was Herman in Scrooged as well.
Yeah. He's like Herman in every movie.
Yeah, he's Herman.
He's great though. Rest in peace, though. He passed away not too long ago. Right off the bat, I like the soundtrack choices in this. The way they bring in the title card, we were listening to it a little bit. It's like this heavy metal song.
It was awesome.
It's a great way to kick it off. And immediately I already enjoy it more than the last one. So it's weird. I did really enjoy this more than the last one. Michael Pollard and the lady who plays his wife, they're like the owners of this new camp. They're fun characters. I like the way they introduce all the different characters too. I think that's what part of it. I like the characters more in this. They're more fun. Angela,
there's more of them.
Yeah, Angela is also not nearly as annoying in this movie. I think it's because she has to not be her annoying self, which she's like disguising herself in multiple ways. She's like 3 or 4 levels deep from who she originally was at this point. But regardless, it's not as annoying. So whatever they need to do. I think that the newscaster drug deal scene is pretty fucking funny. Hey, you look a little older than the rest of the kids. Got any coke? What's up? I don't think we mentioned it in the last. This is the same exact camp. We didn't mention it though in the last one. There's this big sign in the mess hall that says camping, and it's just so perfect for the quality level we're talking about here. This movie was shot right after the like immediately after, but it seems more modern for some reason. I don't know if it's because of the hairstyles. There's not as many mullets. The mullet count's a little, reduced. The cool detail is that they made one counselor the father of Sean from part 2, who, if you remember, had his head severed and put inside of a TV for some reason. I liked that. It's Saturday the 14th for some reason. That's just cool, I guess.
Just a riff on Friday the 13th, pretty much.
Herman, he's the owner of this camp. He's fucking around with this one girl, and I don't understand what she stands to gain from this at all.
It's the same way with the first one. That blonde is like, yeah,
that's true. It's like,
oh God, yo, Mag.
But at least he could do something. Mel could do something. It doesn't even seem like this dude could get her extra hot fries in the lunchroom. But when Angela kills Jan, she says, "Good thing you're dead, because in a couple years your breasts would have been sagging something terrible." I got saggy tits. What's wrong with having saggy tits? They're fine. They're fucking fine.
She's just looking for a reason to kill.
You'd rather. Yeah. Is there any woman that would rather be dead than? I don't know. It's sort of it's sort of weird that there's one point where this girl has to go pee, and the counselor insists that a guy goes with her into the woods.
The buddy system.
But what if she had to take a shit? Like, that'd be weird. That'd be a weird moment for those two friends in the woods. The one thing I didn't like, I thought the last movie did better, was the kills. All the kills seemed really muted and cheaply executed. Like, you didn't really see much, unless I watched a cut that was.
Yeah, I was wondering that. I was wondering that myself.
Yeah, so I don't know why I wouldn't have had the uncut version on the Scream Factory. But when I was looking at run times, I noticed there's an uncut version that's like 10 more minutes, because this is like an hour 20. Mm-hmm. And so I saw an uncut that had like 10 more minutes on it, but I've never heard anyone talk about it. I've never seen it, and it's not on this disc. So
weird.
My run time's an hour 19, hour 20.
There should be some splatter somewhere. Like, it didn't seem like there was much of that at all.
Yeah, no, and they both said both of these budgets for 2 and 3 both said $465,000, and there is no way they're on the same budget. Right. There's absolutely no gore, there's no blood or anything in this. So like, they wrote $465,000 into it.
They wrote this script while they were making the other one. So this was
I'm guessing
this is leftover shit. Probably.
Well, yeah, exactly. I'm guessing they probably spent more on 2 than what they thought, and then did what they could with the rest of the money to make 3.
Yeah. This movie has one of the most racist scenes I've ever seen in a movie. The girl says, I never said I like country, but I'd rather listen to that than a bunch of darkies who can't sing. And then Riff calls her a bitch, and the counselor's like getting on him, like doesn't say anything at all to the girl that's just being completely racist.
Yeah.
And then she says a line that I will not repeat, and he comes at her he puts a bowl of food in her face, and then the counselor jumps his ass again, and I'm like, you're lucky that bitch didn't get fucking knocked out, because the thing, whatever, I forget the exact line she says, but it is fucking.
Well, it kind of happens in like the beginning too, where the black dude tells the other guy to suck his dick or whatever, and they get into a fight. Well, the white dude, the white dude punches him, and all the black dude said was just suck my dick, but he's like, separating the two and going after the black dude because
Yeah.
I was like, the other dude swung on him. Like, won't you get him and get him out of there?
And I mean, don't get me wrong. I love 80s breakdance music as much as anybody else. But if you were forced to listen to this riff dude's jam box all the fucking time, first thing in the morning, boom, come on, dude, don't do that.
I mean, yeah, give it a break, but
think about how many batteries he must have been lugging around. This thing took like 6 or 8. I mean,
like
those are D
yeah, big time.
But this girl blasts another M-bomb right off into the woods while Angela's taking her out with this weird trust game they were doing. Where does she kill her on the flagpole or whatever?
I think she does.
Yeah, I think that the cast in general, like scenes like whenever they're talking to that one dude, are you in a gang? Like, yeah, I'm in a gang. Like shit like that. I like that. That's good stuff. More of that, less of Angela, I guess. But Angela raps in this movie.
Angels are pretty, angels can fly, and here is an angel that can make you die. You've got no style, you've got no flair, all you do is fight and swear. So say your prayers and make amends, 'cause your life story is about to end.
It's very, very bad. And then this cop dude, this guy who they build him up, it's this dude's father, anticlimactic death. I've never seen. He like basically just lists off a bunch of different ways that she could kill him. Then she just kills him. He doesn't even seem to try to fucking stop it. But I did like the end of this movie. Angela sets some weird trap. With 3 different cabins. It's like the best kill in the movie. I think it might even show a little something. These things come down and stab. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Even though I don't understand why nobody can seem to stop this small to regular size human woman, I enjoy this movie way more than the last one for whatever reason. The kills weren't as good as either of the previous films, but the acting was schlocky in a way that I really enjoy. It's bad. This is a bad in a good way for me. 7 out of 10. So where are you guys at?
Good Lord. I'll go. So 80 slasher. It's silly. It doesn't take itself seriously whatsoever. It's filmed back to back with part 2. Like I said, I don't think this had the same budget as 2, but for me, there's not too many good things to say about it. I guess a few of them is Michael J. Pollard. His character is creepy and just makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable, but I kind of like it. I like the setting. There's lots of nudity in this, lots of titties. The flagpole kill that was the best kill in my opinion. I like the. I just like that kill. Like I know it's not practical, her pulling her up the flagpole, letting her drop, but good kill. And there's no plot in this whatsoever. It's just kills, and for it just being kills, there's no gore. I think Angela seemed like she was even bored herself in this movie, just like ran, just I gotta go kill someone, just kind of just walking around killing everybody. She seemed bored to me, so maybe that's kind of why you might like her a little bit better in this one, because she's not so annoying. Like she's just really just walking around.
That's all I needed was a little bit of downplay.
She's just more chill in this one. Like she's completely used to killing. Seems bored to me. It's a bad movie, but I still can find enjoyment out of it. I give it a 5. What do you think, John?
Yeah, I'm in the camp of I like this much better than 2 as well. The sheer difference between original Angela and this Angela of part 2, it's such a stark difference. It made me not like her. But now she's had a movie to get under our skin,
right?
And it's like she can only go up from there, right? She can only go up. So I like, dude, the garbage truck opening. Angela's back written in graffiti on the wall.
Oh yeah.
Man, come on. That was
That
awesome.
speed metal song.
Yeah. Like this was a fun movie.
I think that was the most blood too. The blood running down the garbage truck.
No,
Just a few streaks. I think that was it.
If there's an uncut version, all that blood was put to use, but it just, for some reason,
I don't know. I don't know the way. Like,
there has to
even
be.
like the kills. I mean, they're not even like they're on screen, but you don't see it. You don't see anything happen.
Do you think they had to
I just think they were edited.
Oh,
out.
the tents, the tent kill. I like when she drove the tent stakes through his hand. They made him cool. stay in place. I like that.
Yeah,
do you
that
think
was really
that
cool.
they pared down the violence because there was so much gratuitous nudity in it? Because that seems like they were like maybe bordering on an NC or an X, whatever the rating would have been at that time.
Probably.
Because there's one scene when there's like all the girls are just not topless. You know, like, am I right? Or am I thinking of the last movie, right?
Yeah,
say it again.
More in this
like
one.
there's one scene where they're just like all topless in the one room.
Oh, this movie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they were.
I know at least two. The Chinese looking chick and then the whatever the other one, the big.
It just seems like they would have had to decide one way or the other which way they were going to go with it, you know, to get.
Does that stuff matter if it doesn't have a theatrical release? Like, does it matter? Like, if you're have an X rating or R rating?
it's the ratings see all. You know, they govern it. They govern even on if it's like released through like MGM's home video label.
Well, I mean, I guess from the movie maker's perspective, like, are you if it's not getting a theatrical release, like, are you worried about what it's really rated?
Well, at this point, it would have got. They wouldn't. I don't think they had NC-17 at this point. It would have been X. They would have put it. X
okay. So if it's too, I didn't think about that. If it was too bad, they can't even release it.
Yeah, but that might not be even the reason. Maybe it was just.
I think it's budget. I think it's all budget.
Yeah. Could have been. John, what else?
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to go back to
fault.
you.
Yeah.
Oh, my fault. Love when they reeled in the hockey mask.
Oh,
that was funny. Yeah. You know, Saturday the 14th, there's a hockey mask and stuff. What was up with Snowboy, the punker looking dude, and the other guy sleeping halfway out of their tent? Is the tent that small? Because like I was just so confused on that. It was like,
I don't know.
It's just easier to kill, I guess. Oh, what about this is another reason I love it. The whole Angela takes over that specific girl's persona to just get back to the camp. Like, I want to know the process. How did she find that chick? How did she find out about this camp? Where the hell has she been? Okay, there's no pictures. All right, cool. I want like the Shadows of the Empire version, you know, that took place between Jedi and Empire. That was a great book. But like, I want that. I want this in comics, like a lot of Star Wars comics, they'll say this takes place like 3 hours before the Death Star blew up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they do that kind of stuff, you know? And I would like to see like an in-between, like Sleepaway Camp 2.5. What's Angela up to? Bum, bum, bum. Yeah. But overall, definitely enjoyed this much more. I was used to this Angela, you know, from the last one. And the last one, it was so annoying. But this one, I thought maybe I got screwed because all the gore was cut out, because it looked like it was shot. That stuff was made, but it was cut out. Like the effects were there. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
I really think they're there. They were just.
I mean, it has to. It has to be. If it's 10 minutes longer,
right?
I mean, it has to. What else is there? Like,
right?
I almost think
walking around.
I almost think they had a little bit of budget left, and they were like, let's do another one, guys. We're already here.
Yeah, we got the campground for 2 more days. Let's do this.
They finished early on too.
Yeah, they're like, they sent Estevez home. They're like, we can't really afford you anymore. And then
Yeah.
they took that money and reinvested it in some blood. They got a bucket of blood or something.
I like the ambulance scene. That was funny as hell. Like, she's all like sort of gutted. You know,
Yeah.
she was stabbed a couple times and she's totally dead, and then she kills that guy. And then isn't there something else written? Isn't there something written somewhere at the end? It was like,
Oh, I don't know.
I
think so. I just love those guys.
Like
I love how those guys are like, we should just kill her, right? Yeah, we just kill her. We just kill her.
The
She's
fact they were even mulling that over. That was hilarious.
yeah. But
be that as it may, I gave it still a 6. I'm enjoying talking about it more than watching it, but I still enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, I feel like
it's like a fond memory. Let's not ruin
probably
it. Like,
all would have
it
had
really
a higher
was.
right. All had a higher score. Like if we had watched this one together.
oh
just-
yeah.
This is a party movie.
Just commentate through it.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
That's definitely would be better for like a watch party situation or something like that.
Oh, totally.
All right, well, let's go to 2018 and talk about The Farm. Summary for this film: a young couple gets kidnapped and treated like farm animals after stopping at a roadside diner to eat meat. Written and directed by did you guys see this name? Oh man.
Did we what?
Did you see this name? The director, the writer director?
Oh yeah. That's all you. Go for it.
It's Hans Stigernelsward. Huh?
I'm going to say that S and T is silent. I'm thinking
Stigernelsward.
Jernsword. I don't know.
I'm thinking honestly, Stiernsword.
Stiernsward. Hans Stiernsward.
Yeah.
Stiernsward.
Do you have any information on this, Jason?
Tagline. In this place, you're the main dish. Again, I don't know who this one was distributed by. And I don't even know if it has a physical release. So, no, I guess I don't have much to say.
There are only a few things I don't like about this movie. So I figure, why not get them out of the way? The kennels they use to house these prisoners are very flimsy. I feel if I have one of these. I feel if I were put inside of one of these, I could stand up like a man and break it open. But
just a swift kick, even just a little push of your foot.
They're very flimsy. My second problem is I never feel that it's necessary to kill a baby. You might as well just show like a close-up of a bisected penis if you want some instant shock. I mean, that would work every time. Fun fact about that baby, though. His name is Hollywood Lee Dupree and is seemingly being forced into showbiz by his terrible parents, who have done this with his 2 older brothers. All these people are deaf. This whole family is. Since his birth in 2016, he's been in 5 short films and worked on 5 feature films. They all seem to be horror. So this kid is going to be fucked up.
Wow.
Like they're just putting their baby in front of demons and monsters, and that's got to be damaging. I mean, I don't know. Maybe this is me. My third problem is I don't like the handicapped character, the mentally handicapped gentleman. You could have cut him right out of the film, except for like his gas station scene at the beginning. I just thought he was.
What do you mean you don't like him?
I think he takes me out of the movie. There shouldn't be any other talking except for the owner of the property or whatever.
The
mentally handicapped guy that is he's at the I guess I like the old lady at the beginning. She can have the little scene. He could even have his speaking scenes at the gas station. But when they involve him later on in the movie and he's running
And no one
around,
else is talking except
Yeah.
for that one guy. Yeah,
it would have been so much more ominous and worked a lot better if they would have just cut that character out later on in the movie. And I don't understand how the dude escaped his cage. I mean, I am assuming he stood up like a man and kicked his way out of that thing like I would, but they don't show it. They don't show how he gets out.
Yep.
And
right.
The last thing I have a problem with is why the fuck would you use the final shot of your film as your poster art? That doesn't even make sense. They spoiled it right there on the front of their film. Whatever though.
Yeah.
Positive things about this movie. It's only an hour and 20 minutes, which I think you both know how I feel about horseshit filler. And this is a fairly cut and dry situation. I like the landlord character. I think he's perfectly creepy. He could have even been a little bit more ridiculous, and I think it would have worked. The tone of this movie has like Texas Chainsaw. Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes. I think. I like the setting. I like the silent masked farmhands. I kept waiting for one of them to talk and ruin the whole fucking thing, but they stayed true to that. Disturbing concept, inseminating women to get them to produce milk like dairy cattle. But my wife pointed out, how the fuck would they know when they were ovulating? Because it was only like 3 days. You can really get that going.
Doesn't matter. They're cattle.
Yeah, and the milking devices were clearly repurposed plungers, like with tubing attached to them. So I like how nobody survives. I'd like to see some sequels pop off of this. This would be a good thing you could keep going for a while. Overall, I think this is a good film. This couple wouldn't survive this situation. So it makes sense for them both to die. The dude is far too naive through the whole thing. He's unassuming and overly helpful and involved with other people. And the woman makes just mistakes at one after the other, just trying to leave the farm. Just go in one direction and keep fucking going. Yeah. Not once. She was just hiding in brambles and bushes. I gave this an 8 or a 7. I'll give it a 7. We'll stick with that.
Better keep going down. Better keep going.
Nah, I'll stay with a 7. I liked it. It was a good movie.
Okay, well, I'll go. I didn't know really anything about this. I didn't watch any trailer. From the poster art, I kind of gathered what this movie was. And then I saw people calling it a cannibal movie. That's a little misleading, at least if you're talking about the cannibal subgenre of horror. This isn't a cannibal movie to me. And we're just kind of the exact opposite, Frank. I even broke this down, positives and negatives, and I don't really ever do that, but there's only a couple of positive things I can say about the movie. It's shot well. I like the setting. Like all the production is there. Like it looks good. Music is good in spots. Other than that, that's about all I liked about this movie. I think it's bad writing. There's lots of plot holes. There's editing issues. There's several scenes that just go on too long. Like you talking about, you don't like a bunch of filler. Your life's an hour 20. They could have cut 20 more minutes off this movie. Like him walking around from building to building. That scene lasts like 4 minutes, and that's literally all it's doing is following him walking around.
And
no one's saying anything.
I think it's just shot well. Like that. I liked how it was shot. It was
that's what. Well, but for
artistic.
4 minutes.
Oh, you mean you like the way the filler was shot? The 4 minutes.
Maybe this movie there wasn't a lot happening. It was more like you were it was more like walking through a display. Like that's how I felt.
Catering company.
It was like it was like those boat rides where you get in them and it's spooky shit all around you. That's what it was like. I don't
need 4 minutes of following a guy walking around. It was slow. It was boring. I don't care for any of the characters except for the one guy. Like whatever. I guess he's the boss or the owner or whatever. He reminds me of another character. I was never able to put my finger on it. It was like the way he spoke. Like it almost sounded like what's it? I'll go get the Kodak. What's that? Mother's Day.
Mother's Day, yeah.
Like something about
like that dude mixed with
Something.
Drayton. Mixed that dude with Drayton Sawyer.
Yeah, there's a bit of Drayton.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but I guess it's probably a mix of a few different characters. But I liked him. I don't understand why the farm workers had masks on. They didn't say anything. They have music blaring. Like if you're killing people and like harvesting humans, like that's the last thing you're gonna do is want to cause an attraction, like attention to you. You're not gonna walk around with masks on and be blaring music. Like someone's gonna come and ask what's going on.
But
Like,
will they though?
Depends on how much
feel
land
like
they have.
Weird.
Seems like they have a lot of land. Like you start seeing weird people that are probably involved from the moment they run into that woman alongside the road. She's probably part of the whole thing.
They're not. I don't think they're. To me, they didn't seem like they were trying to hide.
Exactly, because they probably didn't need to.
Well, what I'm saying is, if someone sees a bunch of people wearing a mask, like that's going to cause a disturbance. Like if someone's going to ask even the cooks that's in the kitchen, they all have masks on. Like at some point, somebody's going to come in and see. Anyway, we're spending too much time on that mask. I would have liked to got more story about the business. Like, they're talking about doing some catering, but I don't know. There wasn't a whole lot in this movie. They could have gave me something. It just felt generic to me. It felt like everything was pulled from something I've already seen before, and I would assume that it wasn't done better than anything that I've already seen before. The cages is what drove me nuts too. That bugged me crazy because just trying to set one of those things up for my dog, I would like collapse it by accident and knock it down. Like that drove me nuts. The dude smashing the baby, that caught me off guard.
That was something.
So I mean, I guess that's something. I just didn't like this movie. I gave it a 4.
All right. I really like the way this was shot. I'm definitely in Frank's boat on this one. The actor that played I called him the cabin keeper, basically the boss, main guy. Like he acted his ass off. I felt like he went like full into that character, like method style. And I don't know if they digitally contorted his face. I know he was doing the mouth stuff. I could tell that, but like with his ear and stuff like that, and the way he was misshapen, I don't know. They did it digitally to that little girl in the Hills Have Eyes remake.
Like it looked like a prosthetic to me.
Yeah, is it a prosthetic? Okay.
I don't know. It looked like it. I don't know. I don't think this film had the budget to do that well enough. I don't know.
Yeah, you can do a lot.
I think I saw $4 million on this.
What?
I'm pretty sure I saw
$4
million.
That seems crazy.
You can fact check me, but I'm pretty sure I saw $4 million.
Wow. Where'd that go?
Excuse me.
They built that farm.
Yeah, they built that farm, but made those people do it.
It's a nice farm, not really fucking nice place.
That's why they're not saying anything.
You know, I didn't really think about those dog cages until you guys said something. And I was like, yeah, those things were like hamster cages, basically, just wire thin. But that didn't bother me that much. I got what they were going for. I really like the music. Lots of strings. I really dug that. That insemination scene. Yowza. That was like a big old syringe of spooge, and there you go.
Wonder where they got that from.
They're really, who knows?
Just a collection plate.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Who's the lucky father kind of thing?
Oh God. That's so gross. See that, but you know what? That would have added to the movie.
Yeah.
Takes a village.
There's a shock.
Yeah.
But no, I do like a good shock. The baby, that was, I know it was cheap, but it was shot well, and it looked good. So it was like, oh, you know, I made a physical noise. I was like, ah, you know,
Yeah.
like, holy crap, like, that was
unexpected.
really good. What was I said in one part, well, when they gutted that girl, they definitely had to have used real animal parts because
For sure.
those were definitely way too realistic to not be real guts. So that was a good old school effect. All of a sudden, Alex is just free. That's what I wrote. Yeah, I was like, so fuck. There's 10 minutes right there. Could have seen him, or 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes. I'm seeing him at least escape.
They would have made it 10.
And then she just leaves him behind. Do you remember that? Like, she just leaves him to die. She's like, fuck it.
I didn't like her.
Yeah.
She got on my damn nerves
Yeah.
the whole time.
She was. She would have been. They would have been safe if she would have listened. If he would have listened to her at the beginning, though, because she was just like, let's just keep going. And I told my wife that that's the type of situation that my anxiety would have saved us, because I would have been like, fuck no, we're not doing that. We're not going there.
Way. We are going to a sheet. We are finding a sheet.
Yeah.
And we will stop there. Lights and people.
I wouldn't even stop in Cleveland until we found a McDonald's. So I was like, no, it's got to be like a TM trademark location. I can't stop at Dave's corner market, you know, with bars in the windows. So
oh my god.
Yeah, find a fucking corporate entity.
One thing that got on my nerves, that chase scene,
yeah,
at the end, it was not intense at all. Like, you want me to be on the edge of my seat. The music was so lame right there. It was so light and subdued. I was like, what the heck, man? Where's them hard strings
The music was spotty. Like, at times I'd be like, what? They do a really good job of this. And I'd be like,
yeah.
Why? It's clearly not right. Well, I don't know. That's just my opinion.
No. You're right. This movie did have its problems, but it was, I feel like, a really good starting off point for a possibly cool series. And then maybe it becomes a cult classic. We'll see more about this cult because there was the church and all that kind of stuff. So it was like a compound.
Yeah.
Like
this is where we start, and then anything can happen from here.
Yeah.
You can make all the dumb, weird ones that have 3 or 4 different main wild characters.
A spinoff could be like one of the customers. I felt like people know what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't agree with your one point, Jason, about
how they know they're serving.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, well,
because there's too many people. That's
what I'm saying.
Out that way, it's too many people to not be working.
I don't think they know it. I don't know. Maybe they do. But I guess either way, you would complain about finding a tooth in your food. Like, even if you know it's human, you gotta get the teeth out. You can't be serving teeth. Right.
I love it. It had style. Like I said, it's a good jumping off point. It probably would have worked better as a short, to be honest. Like, no more than a half hour. It would have been way more intense and jarring that way. Because it's like, okay, you get it's on the farm. We don't have to tour the whole fucking farm.
But they bought it.
We don't need to see every. We got budget, but I don't need to see every outbuilding you have, dude. Come on, I get it. The whole. I like the Last Supper theme, but what I hated was the girls just looked spray tanned.
Yeah, and their hair was not burnt. Their hair was perfect. It wasn't burnt up. Like,
they weren't really cooked.
Yeah, but I mean,
make them look like they were.
Put a ball cap on them or something. throw some like, I don't know, fried chicken skin on them.
Yeah,
for texture or something. Give me something.
You know what? The best thing they could have done. They could have done what they could do with this is they already bought the farm, right? We've established that. They just
they live there now.
they make that an attraction after COVID. People can go to the farm and there's all the people with the masks. They get to eat there and assume that it's people.
And it's fucking real.
Yeah.
And it turns out just being fucking real.
But what did you give this, John?
I gave it a 6. It definitely wasn't perfect, but it had some good bones to it.
There's something there, definitely.
Yeah, it's a good bedrock. Let's call it.
Yeah, it's a generic take on Texas Chainsaw Massacre with a bunch of
hey, I
like the culty undertones and those.
I like
those are creepy masks.
I like
But no, they look like every other mask you wear. Like even the mask. That's what I'm saying. Like everything was borrowed from something else.
Yeah.
Like even the masks. Like I think those same masks I've seen the same.
I like delivery pizza, but I also like frozen pizza.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, pizza's good. I agree.
Let's go to 1986. Let's go to 1986 for Witchboard. Summary for this film: when his girlfriend becomes dangerously obsessed with a ghost she contacted using a Ouija board, Jim reluctantly joins forces with her ex, his own estranged childhood best friend, to identify and exorcise the evil spirit. Written and directed by Kevin Tenney, who did Night of the Demons and one of my favorites, Pinocchio's Revenge. Do you have any information, Jason?
Tagline: This game could be fatal. Distributed by Palisades Entertainment and out on Blu-ray through Scream Factory again in 2014.
Old Kevin Tenney also composed the music for this film, and I think he did a great job. Might be the best thing happening here. I don't know how you guys feel, but this dude who owns the Ouija, is that how we're saying this? Ouija?
It's a Ouija board, just saying.
Yeah, let's keep
that guy tried to church it up so hard. What a jerk.
That guy is probably one of the most punchable dickholes I've ever seen in any movie. He reminds me of Eric Bischoff from WCW. Remember him?
He has that same hair.
A blonde, yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
Like from his condescending explanation of this board to his constant references to this guy's alcoholic father, I think he's fairly lucky that he ended up with just a pop tire that first night. He even tries to get in Tawny Kitane's head by saying she's never seen her boyfriend cry. I haven't seen most people I know cry. I don't assume they're all murderers. I haven't seen you guys cry. I don't assume you killed anybody. I don't know. I don't understand why there would be a murder investigation over the incidents that happened in this movie. It seems fairly much like an accident from get-go. The cop is really forced into this scenario. I remember why I hated this movie. I had this on VHS, never got through it. I couldn't give a shit about Ouija boards, and I find all of Brandon's rants about this thing just as stupid and laughable as Jim does, and the movie is boring. So that's my main problems with it. The medium is a terrible, irritating character they bring in halfway through. Adds to the overall disappointment of this movie. The only amusing thing about her is that she rattles like a set of janitor's keys when she walks around in her ridiculous outfit. I fucking dozed off at my computer around 1 hour, woke up to Tawny screaming as she threw herself around the room. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? This movie took me 3 sessions. I could not stay awake. I couldn't stay awake. They should have called it Witch Board. Because
for sure.
The whole dialogue between the two male leads discussing their love and their relationships with Tawny, it's as if a horror film about a board game isn't slow enough. We've got to have this whole drawn out exposition between these two characters, and it doesn't matter. I think these two dudes might be in love or something. I don't know what they're trying to push forward in this scene, but it takes forever. At an hour and 23 minutes, you get a fairly cool hatchet kill. After a stupid-looking Starsky and Hutch style and stunt involving barrels,
Oh yeah.
we say goodbye to Brandon. He dies. And
Good.
we find out this is where we find out that Jim might have been in love with him the whole time because he like cries and holds his body for as long as you hold a lover.
They were best friends. They used to be best friends.
Yeah, and then they had a long time of hating each other.
Then a girl came between them, and then it's the same old story, really. I mean,
tales old as time.
You see
It really,
all the time.
it really is. Brandon was just seemed like a douchebag.
Yeah.
Anyways, I bet he was a douchebag all the life.
Bracelets.
Ouija.
No.
Fuck you.
You cannot anger David. Okay. David, or is that you? He's got a secret sign. Well, fuck you. I hate this movie.
Figure 8.
I hate this movie. I think it's a cash in on Tawny Kitane's White Snake popularity. That music video came out. They're like, hey, that's a woman. And then they just put her in a movie.
She's smoking hot.
I say this is a 2 out of 10.
Jeez Louise.
I wanted to like it.
We're the exact opposite.
I love the cover of this movie. I love all the artwork I've seen for it. Hate the film.
All right, I'll go.
Yeah, I want to hear it. Let's do this.
We got. It ain't spectacular. Don't get me wrong. Supernatural horror. This is my first time viewing this one. This just feels good to me. This has a very strong slasher vibe to it. It's got some cheese in it for sure. Drags and spots. Not a lot of kills. Certainly think there's pacing issues, so I get how you can kind of like drift off and be a little bored with it
completely.
Yeah, I like the characters. Like even the blonde douchebag. Like he plays a blonde douchebag very well.
Good at it.
He does. Yes, he does a good job of it. I like the score. I like the cinematography. Some of the camera, like the first person camera modes that have going. Those shots, I thought those were good. The drywall falling on that dude like took me by surprise. It made me like say, "Oh shit!" Like I was not. It was such like I guess maybe kind of a slow, sleepy scene, and then all of a sudden that just smashes him. I thought that was great. I like it. I'm going to be picking this up. It's on my list to get. I give it a 7. What you got, John?
This is a first timer for me too. Always seen the box or in HBO guide or whatever. You know what I mean? I was always aware of it because there's how many sequels? Is there like 13 sequels?
There's a lot, and I think.
God, I didn't know that.
It's crazy.
There's
also like Witch House and all that.
Witch House, that's the other ones. There's a bunch of them.
Okay, so I didn't know that had anything to do with. Okay,
yeah, same.
I don't know if they
same
do,
writer.
But, that.
There's the same writer or director, something like that. I saw it looking through the credits
somehow. Okay.
Yeah, same realm.
All right.
And isn't this his first movie? Isn't this Kevin Tenney's first movie?
I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong.
I thought it was. I don't know. I was going to, if it was, I guess that just makes it a little bit more impressive for me too. If this is his first movie, I think it's a hell of a first movie. Fact check me, Frank. Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna pull him up and see.
Yeah, no problem. I liked seeing Tawny Kitaen. I always liked her. She's super cute, smoking hot, But you have Tawny Kitaen for a reason, and they didn't get to that reason. I actually happen to like Zarabeth. She was funny as shit because she was a breath of fresh air of all the boring shit in that.
She was annoying at first. I thought it was her accent she was doing.
The Valley Girl shit. It was that
and
Valley.
It faded as it went on, and she became less annoying.
I've seen that lady. Her name's Kathleen Wilhoit. she's been in tons of stuff as a bit player, and she always brings some weird energy to it. Like you notice her. I found her funny. Her death was cool on the sundial. But she got her throat cut and then got thrown on the sundial, right? That was your effects budget right there.
Yeah, right.
that was your blood budget right there. No, that was cool. Tawny throwing herself across the room. Come on, that was so bad. Bad. Oh my God, she just. I can't remember who was it. Was it Tawny in the shower? Did she punch her way out? Yeah. Okay. I give her a lot of credit for that because a lot of chicks just would have, or I should say, pardon me, a lot of characters may have just been like, I can't get out of it. I can't break this glass. I'm going to get scalded to death. You know what I mean? She did something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was cool. Yeah, that was really cool. And then the terribly awesome shooting of the goddamn witchboard. That was hilarious. All that green screen in that entire scene. And it just looked like a bad Western. I felt like they made it for 3D markets for some reason, but never released it in 3D. It was like Jaws 3 vibes all day. It was funny. But, I mean, those are only a couple parts of an hour and 42 minutes of yuppies. Not really, you know, like don't get me wrong. I agree. That dude played his part really good, but they
were just arguing the validity of a Ouija board through most of this movie. Oh, and when they were the two dudes were on the barrel and they had it. Oh, that was, they had it on the barrel and oh god.
Oh, they went to where the little boy drowned.
Yeah.
Is that where?
And they were moving and they're like, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah, it was so bad. Like I felt like that was a Milton Bradley Ouija board because the box was in the movie.
Yeah,
you saw it. That's probably who put up some money for it. You know, this was definitely a sponsor. Make it a cursed Ouija board or something.
Make it carved out of wood.
Yeah. Give me some production value on that. You know, but like, make me care, not just Tawny Katane and be like, ooh, David, hi. Are you nice? Shut up. No. Like, just stop. I gave it a 4. Like, it was, I won't watch it again though, but it was shot well. The music was cool. That one, Zerbeth was a redemption. Small. I still gave it a 4, you know, but she's part of a reason it got a 4, you know.
This was Kevin Tenney's first movie. He followed it up with Night of the Demons and then Witch Trap. And then he also did Witchboard 2. And Witch Trap, I don't know.
Is Witch Trap have anything to
Heard
do with
of.
it? Probably
it's
not.
It's got the same you know that dude, the
but
guy
it came out before Witchboard 2?
Yeah, you know the guy from that shows up at the end. He's like the demon or whatever. He looks like a knight kind of. He's the guy on the cover. It looks like the same guy on the cover of Witch Trap. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know, man.
I don't think I'll probably go any further than this one.
The Kevin Tenney extended universe.
Totally.
Let's get into 1988's Phantasm 2. Summary for this film. Mike, now released from a psychiatric hospital, continues his journey to stop the evil tall man from his grim work. Written and directed by Don Coscarelli. Jason, do you have any information?
Tagline, now the horrifying... This has a few, but this is the one I wrote down. Now the horrifying truth is about to be revealed, and all it took was a little digging. Distributed by Universal, and this one's out through Scream Factory as well, also out of print in 2013.
Cast highlights for this film. I'm not sure how to say this. James LaGros, Uh, he he was in Drugstore Cowboy, and I know him. I've never seen that, but have you ever seen Scotland, PA, guys?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
It's basically Macbeth, but it's done in fast food restaurants. He plays the Macbeth character. You should watch it. It's got Christopher Walken in it, and he's fucking fantastic.
Oh,
But it's this. We have Reggie Bannister back as Reggie. They had to make a decision whether to keep Mike or not. It was the producers had their thumbs in this thing and kind of made some rules and regulations. Since it had been so long between the other, it's almost a decade. They didn't want to get Mike because he hadn't done anything. He hadn't been active, and Reggie had to audition to get his role. So, of course, Angus was probably involved from the beginning. Samantha Phillips as Alchemy, storied actress, featured in classic films such as Stalking Obsession, Focus on Feet, Eve's Beach Fantasy, Andromeda, The Pleasure Planet, The Escort 3, The Bear Wench Project 2, Scared Topless, and much, much more.
she's working.
You have J. Patrick McNamara in this film, who you may recognize as Bill S. Preston's father in the first two Bill and Ted's movies. He plays the psychologist. He's married to Missy and Glasses.
Really?
Bill's dad, yeah.
Wow.
Remember those damn movies?
Oh, you gotta watch them. They're the classics.
I remember him, but
I've watched those a million times.
That was crazy. That's crazy. I had no idea.
Another little fun cast highlight: Lori Loughlin. You know who that is? Aunt Becky from Full House. She plays Mike from the back. You know how at the beginning of this movie they piece together scenes with young Mike, and then the house blows up. Yeah, she's the back of his head.
She's the butt.
One of her first roles.
Oh wow.
You gotta love a scene where characters are preparing to go to battle. Like there's this great montage or series of events where Reggie's like making his super shotgun and Mike's testing out the flamethrower situation. It prepares you for some serious action, which I don't know if you really get to. I mean, they don't use the shit they don't use it as much as they, but it's Phantasm. So, and Mike wouldn't be able to see shit with that welding mask on. I mean, for real. It looks cool, but unrealistic. The mutated version of Liz that they run across while they're hunting for the tall man is straight out of a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. I don't know if they were trying to pull some shit like that, but she's got like a little head, like a tall man head growing out of her back. It looks very Freddy Krueger like. I think this movie would have worked a lot better with the original Mike. I like the storyline, even though there's a bunch of shit I still don't understand. In fact, I feel slightly more confused about the reality of Phantasm. Are the Gravers a creation of Tall Man? Or is he like hiring them through a temp agency? I don't understand.
They're like under his control. They're like they're basically zombies.
Okay.
They're basically zombies. So
the spheres why they wear all the masks. The spheres in this movie are really awesome. Tall Man really gave him like a Tim Allen tune-up because they've got like a lot more activity happening. You can see the studio thumbprints all over this movie of whether it was shoehorning in love interests for Mike and Reggie. The pacing of the film seems counterintuitive for a Coscarelli film. It seems like they were like, this is kind of an action movie. You got to get it. It's got to be an action. I think he would have had a slower pace, a little bit different. It just compared to the first movie, there's a different vibe. The Mortician's death is the highlight of the film. As far as kills are concerned, he gets a full treatment. Okay, God, it's gory as hell. The chainsaw battle reminded me of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, mixed with Princess Bride. And it seems like maybe the studio was like, these are two cool things you could mash together. Why don't you try that out? And it bothered me that Reggie just left his super shotgun behind. He just kind of tosses it. He spent a lot of time making that thing, like,
For one shot.
You just go pick up your bandolier, he cut his bandolier off. Yeah. This is definitely a cool movie. It's not as good as the original, but I think it's a nice entry. I give it a 7 out of 10. Like I said, if they would have had Michael Baldwin back in as Mike, it would have got a 9 or a 10 probably, because I think it would have had better. They vibe. Those characters vibe really well. So
the chemistry. They had chemistry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Jason.
Yeah.
Great sequel. I think I like this as much as the first one, to be honest. Good cast. I like the characters. Reggie, Angus, good as always. Very weird, nightmarish, surreal Phantasm movie. It has some cheesy 80s effects, some good practical effects, decent amount of gore in this one. Good score. The atmosphere is there again. It still didn't answer some of the questions I had from the first one. In fact, it brought up some more. I was wondering who the human people were, like why are they left human-like and not shrunk down to the dwarves, and kind of where they came from, how they're related to, or under Tall Man's spell or whatever.
He got him through a deco. They should have filled up some apps.
And Mike and Liz being connected, like through dreams and stuff like that kind of raised some questions up. The highlight for me, though, is the spear that goes in that guy. It's tossing him around the room and comes up through his mouth. Like that was a great kill. That was a great scene. I really like this one. I give it an 8.
Yeah, like I said before, this Phantasm is my favorite franchise. This year, I agree 100%. I wish it would have been Michael Baldwin in there. Just the chemistry that they had. I mean, it was really good. It was like one of those rare ones, because like they knew they're like still best friends to this day, and Bill Thornberry too. Like pretty much all the living cast like still work together and talk and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a deep chemistry in that franchise.
So they didn't even give the guy an audition?
No. So here's what there's this book called Phantasm Exhumed by Dustin McNeil. It's like it's one of 2 Phantasm like tell-all type deals.
Right.
So they told Coscarelli that have them both audition, and Reggie did. They liked them. Mike did. They didn't. They were never going to pick Mike. And this is now. Please understand, this is a book with like interviews of people, like like people that were working at MGM at the time, or Universal, which was Universal, right? Yep. I don't know why I keep thinking MGM, or MCA or something like that. But like, it's interviews with people that know the deal itself. It's not like a puff piece. Like they tell what happened and things like that. And they just didn't go with him because he wasn't a working actor. Brad Pitt even auditioned to be Mike.
Yeah,
that's crazy. How crazy would that have been? And you know who the studio fucking wanted to play Reggie? Jeffrey Tambor.
Oh yeah, that would have oddly worked. That would have worked.
I don't know. The quad barrel shotgun? I don't see Mr. Bluth with a quad barrel shotgun. Like, Mike, Mike, we have things to do.
The thing I don't understand is, even if they didn't want to cast Mike as Mike, why didn't they find somebody that looked like Mike that was a better actor? Because he didn't really look like Mike at all.
No, not even.
You had to
They
just buy it.
They wanted a new leading man, handsome-looking guy, and they landed on him. The guy that looks like the dude the bad guy from Cobra. What's that guy's name? I want to say Brian. Is it Brian Johnson? I feel like that's his name, but I'm like, then I think about, wait, that's AC/DC. Hold on, because I get confused. You're right. This brings up a whole lot more questions that will probably never get answered. So there's this psychic link between certain people in the Phantasm universe. Liz and Mike, she had visions of Mike. She saw his entire adventure.
They fell in love with each other.
Well, she fell in love with him. They talk about her side more, but okay. I mean, in this film, not afterwards, but they oh shit, I forgot where I was going with it. Anyways, whatever. Oh yeah, the psychic links. That's how a tall man has control of his people. In the first one, remember when Mike was hiding in the casket and the dude, the caretaker, was just about to lift it up, and tall man just walks in without a word. He turns around, they have a quick stare down, and he walks out. He's got mind control over these people. The Gravers, the two mortician guys. So he can pretty much do. He even froze Mike in the first one when he threw him in the back of the hearse. That's why he had that weird pose. He looked all weird. Remember, Tall Man carried him and threw him in the back. It looked weird, right? That's because he froze him.
Oh,
so, yeah. Obviously, you see where all the money is, and there was a ton more money in this. More than one sphere. Elaborate effects from Mark Shostrom and K&B, which was great. Right after Evil Dead, I'm pretty sure right after Evil Dead 2, this was their movie. Right after that. So that's why if you pay attention, when they're the one mortician in the crematorium, he's dumping the bones.
Oh yeah,
that little puddle. It says Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
They were like buddies, and he was on the set a bunch and stuff. So they threw that in there for him. A thing that was introduced in this movie that I love is the little symbolic line that said once a movie, let's go, we've got things to do. That's the Star Wars, I have a bad feeling about this. That's uttered throughout by someone different in the like all at least once in the movies. So that was just a fun nugget. You said you didn't like the little tumor puppet Freddy looking thing. You didn't like that?
No, I liked it. I just think it looked like it was out of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it looked and like it looked like the studio was looking at stuff that had come out before this and been like, we could put a little flavor of that in there. And you know how studios
probably.
They're always like calculating things, like how after Home Alone, they wanted everything to be like Home Alone, and that's why movies like Neverending Story 3. They tried to make it like Home Alone, and they like cut out Atreyu and shit, which doesn't make sense. But you know, studios fuck everything up, and they didn't fuck this one up too much. I don't think at all. They didn't. They made some
use more of it. Give me more of it.
They wanted to have the romantic love interest for Reggie, and some other things, but they could have really been crazy and been like, we need ghosts now or whatever, the one story you always hear about is the Kevin Smith story about how he was going to make that Superman movie, and the producer he talked to wanted to have Superman fight a giant spider, and then that producer ended up making Wild Wild West, where at the end of it there's a giant spider. Like this dude was just invested in having a giant spider, so they could have done anything. Producers are nuts. So
I really enjoyed the priest Kenneth Teagar, I believe his name's
Kenneth. He was good.
He he was really good in his part. His drill death was cut. Obviously, you could tell. You know, there's blood sounds when there's no blood, and so check this out. In Germany, there's an edition of the DVD. I have it. It's a 2-disc set. There's a work print edition on the second disc. It's like, it's almost like 2 hours long. Like it's way, or I can't remember the runtime. It's way longer. Lots more stuff. It's like everything they cut out or could have cut out was in that. There's this whole weird mystical love scene between Mike and Liz. Well, remember when they wake up in bed and they're just talking to each other with their heads. There's this whole bad green screen thing. They're both naked, and it's like changing. I remember scenery morphing into different shit. They're like transcending time and space.
Oh yeah.
Like there's this whole subplot of like different dimensions, past lives, psychic links, like
probably dream sequences too, because that was all the shit they wanted to cut out. They didn't want any, like, they wanted a linear storyline with no dream sequences or a like fantasy, or they wanted it to be cut and dry, and that's what they kind of got. They even there was more dream stuff in it than I thought they would. I mean, there was still some in it, so yeah, that makes sense.
And you know, they give you a taste of the work print on the Scream Factory.
Yeah, I was going to ask if that was on there.
Yeah, only I'm talking snippets. Like there's extended scenes, and the best part is they use for sound effects and music they use from the original. So that's too.
What is that? Is that a separate movie, or do they have it edited into the? Oh
no, it's its own.
The restoration print.
No, it's its own feature.
Oh, okay. So they just show you.
On the DVD, the German DVD edition that I have of Part 2, it's its own.
It's a separate feature
movie. Yes.
Scream Factory just has it edited in.
No. Just as a special feature of deleted scenes.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's not edited. No. They didn't edit that kind of stuff. But that would have been nuts if they would have put that dream sequence in.
It bugs me, like when they find, you know, lost footage, and for some reason it can't be restored to, like, you'll see the bonus. I can't think off the top of my head, but
like
the
Friday
added footage,
like Friday Part 2, they could have just threw those snippets in. Even if
it don't look, it's not the same quality as like the theatrical cut. Like for whatever reason they can't restore it. I don't understand.
But
that's cool.
Yeah, and there's stuff they used from the work print, like the tall man coming back is at the beginning of Part 3. So it's like you see his little, you know, obviously he's back. He's driving the hearse. You know, so it's not a spoiler. So, you know, you see little bits and pieces. And it's cleaned up. Don't get me wrong. It was releasable. You know what I mean? So they cleaned it up. Like seeing a little bit more of the red dimension. I liked the little dwarf that crawled out of the barrel. He was played by Bob Gale. He played like Howard the Duck. And a lot of, I don't know, he's got a pretty big filmography. Tall Man's death was rad. They melted him. I like the little monster that comes out. You see more of that shit in the other ones. Like they expand on that, so that's awesome. Like this set up a decent amount, but it wasn't really a Coscarelli-esque film. You know, it would have been paced different. This was more of a road movie action, sort of action horror. But I still love it. I gave it a 9. It's a 9 for me. Like I said, it's my favorite film.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. I think most people would enjoy it. Well, next episode we're going to be doing a club episode, and our review will be Wolfcop, which won the poll. We'll also be returning to our RPG game because Ray is out of COVID hell, I guess.
Woo!
Out of the woods. So he'll be back, and we'll have Dave back in the mix.
Yep.
And we will carry on that adventure, and we'll show off some new stuff we got, if we got some stuff. I know John got some new stuff. I've seen a lot of he's toying around over there. So.
I know, man. I've been on this kick. I pre-ordered that freaking Harry Warden from Shout Factory. Did you guys see that?
I have not seen that.
Yeah, they're doing a minor kit. They're doing a minor NECA.
I sent my wife the link just a few days ago. I said, this comes out February 9th.
Perfect for Valentine's Day.
I said, this don't come out till February, but the pre-order's up. I'm just saying they're going to go fast. I was laying it on pretty thick, so we'll see if I can.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so mad I never got that Tom Atkins figure. I'm so mad at myself. It looks like $300 now. It's crazy.
Yeah. They never come out when I have money. Like, it's hard. I always have to end up paying more because I can't get them when they come out.
Yeah.
There's always ones I see that I want, but goddamn, it's a lot of work to track them down, and I only want specific things, and then by the time I can find them, they're like $40 fucking or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but anyways, that'll be next time on the last Roundup Horror Club. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys.
See you, John. See you, Blake.
All right. See you guys.